Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Courtney. Okay, so I've never done one of these before, but I used to love watching book reviews when I was back in middle school, and I've been watching them again more recently, especially some older, I guess 2017 ones, right? Stuff like that. Anywho, so I will say, I've talked about it before, but I do normally typically journal about my books, like you can see. But I spend most of that journaling just writing down quotes, so I thought that this would be nice, and I know that I was actually planning out this video, and I was gonna add oh well, if you guys don't like this, I don't have to continue in the future. I fear I will probably do it anyway, just because I think it's really fun for older me to look back and see what I was thinking about books. Little video diaries is so cute. I love it. Anywho, but today's victim for my book review is The Sun Is Also a Star. I've been talking about this book non-stop since I read it. I don't know, I love this book, and I will say I read it a few weeks ago, which doesn't sound that long because I just read it back in January, but I've read 18 books so far in 2026, and this was maybe the fifth one I've read. So I've read a lot of stories between this and now. So I will say, in the future if I do these, I want to do them right after I read the book. That way my review's a little more relevant, a little more accurate, just since I just finished it. But I love this book, so I'm so excited to talk about it. Anywho, the way that I've been, so starting off with the synopsis, just so you know guys, this is, sorry, I will apologize, my screen does it backwards. I've talked about this before. I film on Snapchat because I have a very old phone, so otherwise it flips it, and I don't really like that. So I like the mirrored type thing, so it does look like this. So I will put a photo of the book off this is just a reminder for editing me to put a photo right here so you guys can see the cover perfectly. But I know you guys you can still see it, it's just harder to obviously read versus it being inversed or whatever. I forget the word, I think that's it. Anywho, but the way that but yeah, I'll put a little photo, it will disappear eventually, but photo. Anywho, so this is The Sun Is Also a Star. Incredible book. I think this came out back in 2016, maybe earlier. There's a movie for this too, which I remember seeing that trailer when I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. I don't know. I was pretty young when the trailer came out. Maybe I was in middle school. I don't know. I was young when the trailer came out. Okay, and I remember already being interested. No idea this was that movie. Never saw the movie, only the trailer one time when I was in the theaters. I don't even remember what I was watching. No idea. That trailer, I kept it up here, okay? And then I was looking at I like to spoil my books sometimes to read them. It gets me excited to read them. So I was looking at little posts that people had made about this book, and that movie trailer came up, and I was oh my gosh. Anywho, it was that movie, and it was crazy. But getting to the point, the synopsis. So I'll read it actually off the back, but I've always described this book the synopsis that I give to people to try to convince them to read it, but also I try to do it in a much quicker amount of time versus this video is going to be a little longer. No more than 16 minutes though. I'm not doing a book video where I'm just sitting here and talking to y'all for more than 16 minutes, okay? I know you just love to hear me talk. I'm just kidding. I hype myself up too much with my ego. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here. I'm gonna get to the book. You can skip over this if you don't care. But me and my friends, for my friend Olivia's birthday this summer, we were playing, we did this little trip to the beach for 3 days, and it was incredible and probably one of my favorite memories. But we played this chameleon game. Oh, yeah, there's this whole, I'm not gonna go too into it, but I won one of the rounds, and oh, my ego, it's a high I've yet to come down from, because the way they were all so surprised when they found out it was me, oh, that moment lives right free in my head. But anywho, I don't know how I got on the topic of ego, but here we are. But this book, I've always been describing it as these two people who fall in love over the course of the day, but their time is very limited. So that's how I describe it, which sounds very what's it? I forget the word for it, but the really quick love versus whereas people do typically love a slow burn when it comes to that. But this is so well done. It feels like they're known it's so well. This is probably one of the most beautiful books I've ever read. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna get to the synopsis now though. But that's my what I've always told people. But anywho, so here we go. Gotta get my reading glasses on. Did the universe bring them together only to keep them apart? Natasha, I'm a girl who believes in science and facts, not fate, not dreams that will never come true. I'm definitely not the kind of girl who meets a cute boy on a crowded New York City street and falls in love with him. Not when my family is 12 hours away from being deported to Jamaica. Falling in love with him won't be my story. Daniel, I've always been a good son, the good student, living up to my parents' high expectations, never the poet or the dreamer. Wait, yeah. But something about Natasha makes me think that fate has something more extraordinary in store for both of us. So that's like what you see on the back for like the little synopsis, right? But I'm going to tell you so much more about this book, but I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. I also apologize, I like pause a lot when like I'm reading out loud. Like I'll be babysitting or I try to read to kids, like as you don't understand, I'm like the worst storyteller. People who fall in love over the course of the day, and I just told you guys like the little synopsis about them, right? But they kind of fall in love with, like, using like this, like there's I don't want to say like science data, but there's, I guess, a study that they talk about in the book that was conducted. I don't know if that's like a real thing or not, like the author got, but like, you know, it's a part of the book where Daniel is telling Natasha about this study that they heard of, where they like had like these different questions they had couples ask each other, like stare into their eyes. And he's like, well, I can make you fall in love with me, like if I do that. And that's kind of like, I guess, the best premise I can try to give you. Obviously this book is so much more than that and so beautiful. Oh my gosh. But anywho, also in addition to that, if you want a book to get you over a reading slump, it looks long. The chapters are so short. Like I'm such a sucker for a short chapter, but like literally look at this. This is a chapter right here. Oh, and dual POV. Okay, which I'm actually going to talk more about that because real quick I'll show you the short chapters because like look at this. One second, that's a chapter. That's another chapter right there. 1 second. Go a few pages. Where is it? Am I reading this right? Oh yeah. That's another chapter. Sorry, it's backwards to me when I'm looking at the camera. That's another chapter right there. Look at this. Look at this. Don't read the pages because I might be spoiling. I don't actually know. That's another short chapters. Oh my gosh. Which, like, I don't see how like I'm not a reader, but like, no, short chapters make me feel so accomplished. But anyway, it is also dual POV between Natasha and Daniel, which is incredible. I absolutely love that. But in addition to that, you get other people's POVs. Like, you wouldn't think. Like, you would get, like, there's a police officer, I want to say, or, like, security guard that Natasha meets, who's checking her bag, and you get her perspective. I believe her name is Irene. And then there's this guy who it's, like, kind of like Natasha's trying to hire him as her lawyer. Daniel has an interview with him, I believe, or something, and he gets a POV. Then his assistant gets a POV, and, like, there's all these people who, like, you know, like normally in a typical book you would not get to see their perspective. In this book you get like little chapters, which sounds like it would be annoying, but like no, it's incredible because you see like all these different lives that people are leading. Like, it's not just them, like all these other people, and I don't know, it's so special to me that you do get those little POVs. I adore them. Even like their dads or like parents, I want to say, I forget exactly, but I'm pretty sure the dad had like some like little backstory. Like, I don't know, the formatting for this book has my heart. I'm sorry, my copy looks really damaged. It was used when I bought it. I swear I take good care of my books. But like, Okay, and then another thing I really loved about this book, I think it was much more diverse than a lot of books I see nowadays. I'm not hating because there are plenty of diverse books that I think I see. But this one, I don't know, I do like that it had like a lot more cultures and it touched so much on that. I think there's a lot of books where like this one, you actually went so in depth on their family, their relationships with their family, and like even just their family through like you would see like perspectives from their family's eyes, like what they were going through. So it wasn't only their kids, like you actually learned so much, like for it only being like in the course of a day, this span of this book, you actually go so in depth on like their family history and their family struggles and these main characters' relationships with their family, which I think gives the characters so much more development and made the story so much more enjoyable. And apart from this book being a literal masterpiece, I also really loved it. Kind of touched on butterfly effect, which is like those like little minor coincidences that can kind of like lead to like, I guess, a bigger thing, or like just all these things that like you wouldn't I don't know how to explain butterfly effect. I'm guessing most people know butterfly effect. Or also I talked about this in a presentation when I was like 14 or something, 15, I don't even know. It was my freshman year of high school. I don't know if it was second or first semester or something like that. We did a presentation, like a little TED talk of anything you wanted. I think I did like some like positivity, and I can't remember much of it, but one thing that I do really remember from my little like TED talk was this burnt toast theory, which was kind of what was it? Like, for example, you burn your toast in the morning or something bad happens, but because of the time it takes you to like make your new toast or fix this problem that happened, it can lead to like these like most beautiful things happening, right? Like, you wouldn't realize, like, because you burnt your toast, it took you longer time to make that toast, now you meet someone that you wouldn't have met otherwise, or like, you know, you get this opportunity that you wouldn't have got otherwise, and how like these things that may seem bad can like really lead to like other good things. And I feel like that's slightly similar to butterfly effect, with like, the little minor coincidences that like lead to like this major thing. And this book like really touched on that in such a beautiful, beautiful way, and it's one of the reasons I really love it. And then additionally, another like one of those like little things I really liked was kind of like, I always put it as like Today versus Tomorrow. So I don't know if anyone's seen what's the movie? I think it's If I Stay, or am I thinking of another one? Or For One More Day, or no, that's a Mitch Albom book. There's this one movie, I haven't seen it, I've just seen clips of it, but there's this one like clip in the movie, I guess, where these girls, I'm assuming, who are all friends, I don't really know, but they're like sitting at this lunch table, and her friends are kind of like making fun of this other girl, like from their table, and she's like, that's not cool, like why are you guys doing that, leave her alone. So her friends are responding with like, what are you talking about, like you were literally bullying her and making fun of her the other day. And then like character's response to that, like this like main girl, like that was a long time ago, that was yesterday. And I think that has so much power to it, and I feel like this book talked a lot about that as well, and I really like that today versus tomorrow, and or today versus yesterday, and how like literally every single day has so many new possibilities and opportunities that you can't even phantom and imagine. Your life can change in such beautiful and amazing ways like each day, and that's so amazing. Like yesterday doesn't define you in any way. You have the opportunity to be a completely new, better, incredible person tomorrow, and that's your choice. And I don't know, I think that's amazing. So I really love that this book touched on that. So I'm not gonna lie, I literally have no idea how to end this. That's like basically what I had to say. Like, I mean, there's so much more in this book, but like obviously I don't want to spoil too much of it. I've talked, like I gave away I think a lot of this book, but like I'm telling you, will still enjoy it. Like, I think this book changed my brain chemistry. I love this book so much. I do understand that it's a bit more YA, so it may not be for everyone, but personally, as someone who is obviously younger, I adored this book. I would recommend it to literally everyone. Like, it's so good. Okay, so yeah, that's my little review of The Sun Is Also a Star. And I hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!